It's kind of a new experience for me. I've been one time abroad, and that was in a completely different scenario for me. It was when I was at Charlotte, and we were representing the USA actually in the World University Games, so it was a little more stressful and a different environment. But for this trip, and I'm kind of learning along the way what are the positives of it also. But first of all, you mentioned cultural right off the bat, and the opportunity that our team has had, and I'm sure the players have touched on it, but they actually had the opportunity through our academic offices to be able to take a class on Italy and really learn a lot about the culture there and the things that they're going to be able to see, all the historical items. And I think that was really critical if you really want to take in the whole experience of being there. And they already, I think they know more than we do now. So it's been fun to hear them talk and mention the things that they've learned in the class. So, first and foremost, it's an academic experience for them, and I think that's the special thing about Texas. If you went across the country and asked all these teams that are making these foreign trips, did your team get a chance to take a class on it? I guarantee you they would say no, because that's the cool thing about Texas. The other piece of it is just, I think, the days of practice. I mean, I've watched us grow here in the last 4 days, just from the standpoint of getting a little bit of chemistry and the young players getting their feet wet for more than 1 hour once a week or something like that, which is what we get in the summer. You see them, but you see them for 1 hour, and then they're like, oh, that's nothing. And then you don't see them again for 4 or 5 days. So I think to have some extended days piled up on each other gave them a little bit of an idea what the real world is like in college basketball. So that was good. And then I think the third thing is a bonding experience and the chance for all of us to spend some time together that's not so stressful and, just get to know each other. I think that's a critical thing, not necessarily that we don't know each other, but in a different landscape, you can relax a little bit and have some fun.
And you mentioned not so stressful. Anytime a team travels, they always say it's a business trip, you're going to get the win, all that. This is a little different experience because it's not all work. It's going to be a lot of play and a lot of fun stuff. How excited are you for just a different experience with these girls?
Well, I'm super excited because, as you all know, I'm a little serious about what I do, and for me to be able to go over there and, crack a joke and make a smile every now and then and have some fun with them and not feel so stressed. And really, you start to kind of, I guess I'm getting old or something, but I feel a little bit more like a parent, and to watch them have opportunities that you are seeing them have right now and to go over there and watch how they react to things, I think I'll enjoy that as a coach. And again, when we go to Norman, it's a business trip, and it's most often that when we go to Knoxville, we get off the plane, we don't see a lot, we don't do a lot. And just to be able to go get some ice cream or gelato with them and see them enjoy the experience of all of it and watch their faces will be a fun thing.
Can you tell us anything about the caliber of competition that you're going to see?
I think that's one of the interesting things about this trip, maybe even as opposed to when we were going to take it 2 years ago, is that I think that there's become such an interest in doing these abroad trips. So the foreign trips have kind of caught fire, and a few years back it wasn't necessarily a higher level of competition, so you went over there and again it was all fun. And I think per request of some of the colleges, once they came back and gave feedback, they said, okay, maybe it could have been a little tougher. So they've put together teams now, almost like all-star teams, that I think are a little better as far as competition is concerned. Just so, again, you want your young players to get some sort of taste of this, and if they go over there and win by 50, that's not reality for college basketball. So I do think that as I've followed a few scores from the other schools, the competition will be a little stiffer. Other than that, I don't know a lot. Germany will probably be a little more physical than Italy will be. I do know it's a different style, so we'll be tested defensively a little bit different than maybe we are in the States.
How much? You got it, Ricky.
Oh, let's see. How much gelato will you consume on the trip?
A lot. I have a sweet tooth, so I've had a lot of friends that have gone over there and said if you think you like it in the States, it's a whole different ball game over there. So I would imagine it's kind of funny because there were 2 or 3 of us that were up at the USA trials when I was up there last week, and we're all traveling to Italy in the next week or two, and we all discussed the fact that if you're trying to go on a diet or get in a workout regimen, that we just need to wait until we all get back from Italy because you don't have a prayer. I mean, it's not possible.
What are you most looking forward to seeing or to eating or
Um,
visiting?
I mean, I wouldn't say eating, although I am really excited about the pasta because I've heard it's phenomenal. Heard the wine was really good. I heard the gelato was really good, so we'll probably take a turn at all of that at some point or another. But I think just the opportunity to see all of the history. I'm a little bit of a history buff, and I'm a sucker for beautiful things. And I've even had someone approach me. We have a lot of fans going, and I had one of Andrew Lloyd actually she has Italian citizenship from playing over there, and she is already over there. She's beating us over there, and she wrote me the other day and said, hey, if you want to go to the opera. And I was like, you have to be kidding me, because I am a big opera fan, and to be able to do that possibly over there would be a pretty cool experience. But I think the history and just the sights will be beautiful.
Are you, I guess, overly concerned with the results of the games, or is the focus more on just sort of how the team blends together, how the new faces kind of mesh with the old?
I think how they mesh with the old and how they react to some different scenarios. Ariel's gone, and there will be maybe some limited minutes on the older players that have had a lot of experience. So, therefore, I'm not going to get too exercised if we don't look like I expect us to look eventually. I think the main thing is to give the team an opportunity to play. I mean, when you look at our roster, you're seeing not only new players that need to get their feet wet, but you're also seeing a Jatari White that hasn't played for us yet, that I'm really excited about getting her in the fold. Alameda didn't play very many minutes last year, and I think she'll play this year. I know she'll play this year. So not only do you have freshmen, but you have players that didn't get minutes that I'm anxious to get them on the court.
How important have these summer USA basketball experiences been for girls like Joyner or Shug or Brooke, for all these girls that have been playing for Team USA? How important is that? How much do you enjoy seeing that for just their growth and the experience that they get from that?
Well, I've always said anytime you're competing, it's probably going to help you be a better competitor. And for all of those players to have an opportunity to compete at what we all deem as the highest level, and for Joyner and Shug to be able to go over to the 19 under World Championships and quite honestly play against pros. They were defeated in the gold medal game by Russia, and hindsight, when I got a little feedback from the group after they got back, not the players, because I'm not sure, sometimes they know, but from the group at USA Basketball, I mean, they literally were playing against 2 players that are professionals, and they made us look like kids sometimes. And so for them to be able to experience that's priceless. Fast forward to the trials last week with the U23s, we had Jatari, Brooke, and Ariel go to those trials. I thought that was one of the best environments that I had seen since I've been coaching. It's a great idea. It was a new concept for them to take a U23 team and have that kind of trial where you bring 32 of the best players in the country, or the best players in the country, have them go head to head. I mean, you could ask them and let them tell you what it was like, but it was like a combine for pros. And first of all, I was really proud of our players. I thought all 3 of them competed at a really, really high level. Ariel was terrific. Ariel looked like the Ariel that we all, I think, know and love. And she's built some enormous confidence over this summer, being healthy and having lots of gym time. And Brooke and Jatari were terrific too. Jatari, it was really good for because she hasn't competed in a year, and probably 2 if you really get down to it. So great experience for them. I don't think you could find anything better than what I saw up there last week.
And a question just about Joyner. How tough is it going to be having to go through that first semester without her? And is there anything you can expand upon with her situation?
I think any time that you have adversity, it's tough. I mean that's that's why I would call it adversity, and it's a learning experience, I think, for everyone that she's going through that adversity. But I think that Joyner wants to be at Texas really, really bad and wants to be a part of making this program really special. And I don't have any doubts that through the adversity we become a better basketball team, and through the adversity she becomes a better person, first of all, and a better player. So I'm comfortable with everything. I mean, we had to address a situation, and it was addressed and dealt with, and we've moved on. The team has responded very positively, and she's responded very positively. So there's silver linings in everything. I think it's the way that you look at it and the way that you handle it, and I'm good with where we are.
Coach, the freshmen, how do they look so far? I mean, the other players say they're picking up everything pretty quickly, and they're pretty impressed with them.
I am impressed with their IQ. I think that's been the most impressive thing to me, which is why the older players would say what they said, which is that they're picking up. The things that we put in, they do pick up pretty quickly. They think the game really well, and I'm really impressed with that. They all can score. I think we all knew that, and that's why we recruited them. It's just a matter of them figuring out it's different, and I don't have to score every time I touch the basketball, and I think that's been a little bit of a learning experience as we've started practice, that there's a lot of other people on the floor that can score too, and how do I pick my times to shoot and pass when someone else is open. Those are the things that they're learning as they go along. And then I'm not going to try to address our defense or where they are defensively right now, but we all know we're going to get there at some point with our team. But they're learning. They're learning.